Hey guys, how's it going? Tim here from Droid Life. Today we are taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 on AT&T. We finally have it, Samsung's new phablet flagship, and ooh, say that 5 times fast. Anyways, I wanted to note real quickly before we dive into the box and all that, that Samsung, you know, we're used to kind of seeing this faux wood packaging, but it looks like, at least for the AT&T model, they've moved away from that. They're sticking with that plain AT&T white box with the orange accent, which isn't too bad. It's just, you know, it's pretty plain and not very premium, but that's alright. I have done myself a favor of cutting that sticker. Whoops. I cut the sticker, that way I didn't make myself look foolish. So here's the phone. Before we get into the phone, let's power it on, set it aside, and we'll dive into the box and see what else is inside, see what type of goodies Samsung sent along. So far we have a health and safety warranty guide, not too special, soft card, pamphlet, everyone needs soft card, and of course the quick start guide. This is going to go over certain S Pen features and other TouchWiz features that come pre-installed on your, ooh, that's quite large, Galaxy Note 4. As well, we have the micro USB adapter and no headphones. You do have a SIM removal tool, which is helpful for these phones. I remember we had to do a write-up on how to just remove the SIM out of these phones. They're getting too smart for us. Alright, box is giving me trouble, so let's just put it aside. Here it is, Samsung Galaxy Note 4 on AT&T. Powered on here. Let's go over the specs. It's the most important part of any Android device, as we all know. It has a beautiful 5.7-inch QHD Super AMOLED display. First panel of its kind, essentially, to at least being a smartphone. The first time that we've had the 2560 by 1440 resolution on a Super AMOLED display. And I gotta tell you, from the time I spent with it in New York and from what I'm seeing right here, kind of close up, I mean, it's really sweet. You know, if it differs greatly over Full HD, we'll see in our full review over last year's Galaxy Note 3. We'll see how those kind of rack up. Interestingly enough, I did not have to go through any setup, which is awesome, because if you know, Samsung and AT&T setup menus take at least 2 hours to get through. So let's go over the specs real quick. Like I said, 5.7-inch QHD Super AMOLED display, 2560 by 1440 resolution. It's powered by a Snapdragon made by Qualcomm, 805 processor with 3 gigs of RAM. So quite a bunch of power. It does feature a 16 megapixel rear facing camera, as well as I want to get this right, it has a 3.7 front facing megapixel camera. Along the back side here you have 1 rear facing speaker, which is sort of a downer considering all this space they have. You'd think they'd be able to throw in another speaker or 2. Of course you have the S Pen, which is very important for any Samsung Galaxy Note device. Have a gorgeous home button right here, which also doubles as a fingerprint scanner. Along the left side, you have your volume rocker. Right side, power. Sensors up here, 3.5mm headphone jack on top. IR blaster, I believe. Yes, IR blaster. 2 noise-canceling mics on the bottom, as well as micro USB. Let's pop the back off right here just to confirm. So we do have a micro SD slot, which is pretty important for some people. Huge battery. 3220 milliamp hour battery, AT&T SIM of course. As for waterproofing, no. Pretty sure this one is not waterproof or even water resistant. So I wouldn't go taking a bath with it. I mean really, even the Galaxy S5, I probably would not take a bath with it, even though other people would lie and be like, oh yeah, take a bath with it, it's waterproof. Go for it. So let's peek right here into the settings menu. I should say this is running Android 4.4 KitKat, but of course Samsung's TouchWiz does a very nice job of covering that all up, so you'll have a hard time, you know, figuring out exactly which Android model you're on. You could be running Gingerbread and it would probably look quite a bit like this. So let's go down into the About phone. We'll confirm it's Android 4.4.4. There it is right there, Android 4.4.4 Kitty Cat. And of course you can still do the lovely Kit Kat Easter egg, which is always fun. Who doesn't love a good Easter egg? Easter eggs are fun. So there it is, it's booting up. There she is. So Like I said, 16 megapixel rear facing camera with the OIS technology. Of course, you have your heart rate monitor there right below it with LED flash. It does feature this nice faux leather. I will say it feels a bit nicer than the Galaxy Note 3 from last year, just because this faux leather is a bit more texturized than last year's model. And I mean, as well, it comes with this really lovely, either like aluminum or metallic kind of banding around the edges. It feels great. I mean, sure, it feels large, but it does feel good. It feels pretty rounded and shapely to where it's not too much of a burden to use. I mean, using with one hand is still going to be rather difficult, but I still think it feels quite well. So I'm excited to, you know, get into it. I don't know if y'all remember, but I started the Note cult on the Note 2. I mean, I did fall in love, but then I've been moving back to smaller phones with the Galaxy Alpha and the Moto X and all that. So we'll see how this compares. Again, the specs alone should pretty make it an awesome gaming experience, a multitasking experience. So our full review's coming. If you guys have any questions or want to know about certain features, I'd be more than happy to go over that. Until then, we're Droid Life. Peace.